Pakistan, the epicenter of terrorism, is not shying away from openly channelizing the system of terror funding. Keeping all the guidelines and recommendations of Financial Action Task Force at bay, Islamabad has once again obliged to the demands of 2611 mastermind and Lashkar-e-Taiba chief Hafiz Saeed by restoring the bank accounts of Saeed and 4 of his associates. This step would further give boost to terror activities in South Asia, especially in Kashmir, which remain at the target of Pakistan's state-sponsored terrorism.
Paying no heed towards global concern on terrorism and terror financing, Pakistan has once again displayed its support to terrorism by formally reopening the bank accounts of Jamaat-ud-Dawa and Lashkar Chief Hafiz Saeed and his associates. Despite several warnings issued to Pakistan by global terror financing watchdog Financial Action Task Force, Islamabad has not put sufficient curbs on terror funding, neither has it even launched effective counter-terrorism measures. In fact, on contrary, the Pakistan Army has got formal permission from UN Security Council to reinstate the bank accounts of Hafiz Saeed and 4 other JUD operatives that include Abdul Salam Bhuttawi, Haji M. Ashraf, Yahya Mujahid and Zafar Iqbal. The Imran Khan government has also sought the permission for the bank accounts in the name of family allowance funds to the proscribed terrorists, but looking at past records, it is well understood that the access to finance is aimed at smoothing out the terror activities commanded by Hafiz Saeed, the chief of Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Pakistan government themselves and Imran Khan, and they have recommended that they should be given to the the money, a little bit money, so that they can run. But now the whole thing has been restored. It is because of the Pakistan and Imran Khan. It also shows how the United Nations Security Council, the highest body, is paralyzed and also are having a limited double face of these organizations. When Financial Action Task Force has extended there's this thing that Pakistan will remain the grey list and terror funding won't be there. But when it happens, it opens the door, in spite of the fact that no terror funding has stopped in Pakistan.
The puppet government of Pakistan has always been a pro-terrorist establishment. Its decisions and policies are framed for the welfare of terrorists who are living under the patronage of the Pakistani deep state and the federal government. In May this year, the Pakistan government released around 400 terrorists from prison, citing concerns related to the coronavirus pandemic. In 2019, the Pakistan government had already requested the UNSC to restore the bank accounts of the proscribed terrorists and now has got the formal permission to do so. The news related to several favors being done to terrorists in Pakistan keep coming in as the country uses the policy of terrorism as its alternate diplomacy.
It may be recalled that in October 2019, Pakistan had requested the UN Security Council Anti-Terror Committee to restore the bank account for that permission. And this year in the May, Pakistan has set free all the terrorist operatives because they wanted to decongest the prisons. It must be remembered that this head of JUD, he's got 23 FIRs against him for the terror financing. He's got US 10 million bounty against him. He's an enlisted terrorist. It's in fact very funny that Pakistan government, army, ISI, they continue to go on the track of terror as a strategy, proxy as a strategy for themselves. In fact, Pakistan is the epicenter and the center of gravity of the terrorists, not only in the global aspect, regional, but even we can see them around in this area. And Pakistan is a failed state, rogue state, and they're committing errors on the aspect of terror and proxy.
The move to restore the bank accounts of Saeed and other JUD terrorists came just days after Pakistan was retained in the grey list of FATF till October 2020. The decision to keep Pakistan in the grey list was taken at the Global Terror Financing Watchdog's third and final plenary held online because of the coronavirus. Islamabad's apparent inability to check terror funding to groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, among others, are the reasons that have sealed its fate in the grey list of FATF till October 2020.
Jamaat-ul-Dawa, Masood Azhar, and all these people, they are Islamists. They have got very strong backing of Islamist society that Pakistan has converted itself into. There is huge pressure on the government from their side. Then there is a pressure from the military and the ISI to work forward and ensure that these accounts are unfrozen. These accounts were frozen when there was a lot of FATF pressure on Pakistani government, and they wanted to show that they are doing some work against the terror organization. But now it is not so. Now that pressure is off till next year, so they want to get these Islamists onto their side and revive their activities.
Informed sources suggest Pak's progress on its action plan would now be evaluated in the next FATF plenary meeting to be held in October 2020. At least till then, Pak will continue to be on the grey list, and even thereafter till February 2021, even if it completes all its action plan items by October 2020, as an on-site visit by FATF team would have to be held to confirm completion of action plan before it could get out of the grey list. Saeed-led JUD is the front organization for the Lashkar-e-Taiba, which is responsible for carrying out the 2008 Mumbai attack that killed 166 people, including 6 Americans. The US Department of the Treasury has designated Saeed as a specially designated global terrorist. He was listed under the UN Security Council Resolution 1267 in December 2008. His bank accounts were frozen by the Pakistani government, complying with the UNSC resolution.